Okay.
Okay, so I'm here with George again to finish his brand storyboard that we did in the last session. There's a little piece missing, and we're going to do that today. I share my screen. And this is the storyboard from last time. Here is the problem pit of his ideal clients that they are struggling with. On the right side is paradise, which is just the flip side of this, the same person, just now with all her problems solved. And what is missing now is how is George helping his clients from the left to the right side? What is the bridge? And I have 3 parts here. It doesn't have to be 3 parts, but the 3 parts is always easier to communicate. And maybe can you help? You think you could divide your offers in
Yeah,
3 parts?
I can try. You know, I have 8 parts, but I can certainly think of some of the key 3 parts. Yeah, so I would say I always like to start with joyful productivity as a very key part, and that is the foundation of how we work. So this includes everything from our calendar, organization, information, to the actual spirit or energy or attitude we bring into the moment-to-moment work we do. For example, most people in business, they don't think about that. They just think, oh, I got to get stuff done. So they just try to be efficient, sure, of course. But they don't think about how their way of working is actually adding a positive energy in the world or a negative energy, because what happens when there are tech challenges or frustrations or disappointments or just things you don't want to do. It's like, oh, I don't feel like it could be things that are creative too. It's like, oh, I don't feel like writing today, but I promised I have a commitment to writing once a week or blog post once a week or whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, can you bring a spirit of curiosity and compassion and exploration and joy, instead of like, oh, I got to get it done, hustle and anyway. So it's like, the more we practice joyful productivity, the more consistent we become, and also the more positive energy is brought into our life and into the world and to our connections. And I think that's, not surprisingly, I've created an audience that is quite positive and heart-based and anyway, so I really yeah, so this is good. Yeah, that's a great image. I like it. It's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I think the second, let me just think here. Yeah, let me think. Yeah, I think the second piece that I'm probably known for, people come to me for, is authentic content marketing. So this is I call this content. People usually think is, oh, you write stuff or you record things or you draw things so that people will be interested in your work. And I get it, of course, but I transformed it now so that it's not about marketing, it's more about ministry, meaning the content we create and share impacts 2 people. It impacts us because it's an opportunity for us to explore our ideas, our important experiences, our values and viewpoints. In other words, it allows us to explore what our calling might be. What is the purpose of my life? And what's the purpose of my business? What's the purpose of my work? Why are we doing this? So it's on the one hand, and it impacts us because it allows us to do that. And I call it creativity fitness. because if you don't consistently create, you, as you know, well know as an artist, you know, you kind of lose the skills over time, or lose the muscle over time. And so and then so it impacts two people, impacts us and impacts them, obviously the world, the people who read or watch or view our content. Most of them, and this is shocking to people to think about, if your marketing is successful, if your content is successful, most of the people who view your content will never buy from you. Well, it's like, what are you talking about? If my marketing is successful, everyone buys from me. No, no, no. If your content is successful, it goes so far, it gets seen by thousands or hundreds of thousands of people. And do you expect those 100,000 people to all buy from you? Obviously not. I mean, if you think it through, I'm like, oh yeah, of course, that makes sense. So the more successful our content, the lower our conversion rate. It's supposed to be like this. And so how do you think about all the people who don't buy from you and may never buy from you? And they certainly won't buy from you today if it becomes successful, or even this year, or even this month. So how do you think about those people? Oh, tire kickers. Oh, fake fans. I mean, they are certainly fake fans and bots, but I'm talking about the people who have benefited and enjoyed your content, who may either buy from you one day, or more likely, they're going to talk about you. Can we approach those people, all those people, from a sense of ministry, service, cause, that the message we're sharing is so important. It needs to help people, regardless of whether they ever spend a dime with us, whether they ever help us in any way, which is what ministry is about, which is what service truly is about. And so if we do content from that viewpoint, it completely shifts why we're doing it. It's no longer like, well, sure, of course I care about return on investment of energy and money and ads. Of course, I run a lot of Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn ads, so I know about return on, obviously. But when I create and share, if I can be in the space of exploration and ministry, which is the two parts of it, then, you know, I can do it with love. And I can do it without attachment to the results, which is what allows us to really create from the heart and to be sustainable in creating consistently. So
Is
that's
this
this.
is this too many hearts here?
No, there are never too many hearts. I'm so grateful for what you're doing here. This is beautiful.
And maybe we take this heart away.
You can take whatever hearts away that you feel is needed. Yeah, you could. It's great. It's great. Now it's interesting. I mean, the middle part looks like a building,
Oh yeah,
and I wonder if it could be.
Instagram.
Yeah, right. I know, but I wonder if it could be something more artistic, like something more, some kind of drawing, or some kind of like sun shining or something. You know, like
Yeah.
something that's like brilliant. That's and yeah. And also, I wonder if we should put in like FB, IG, LI, YT, some kind of like, I don't know. I mean, at this point, I would go online and find the logos for those places. But yes, FB, YT, IG. I think those are the key ones. And I know you use LI a lot, but yeah. Yeah, those are the key ones. Yeah, LI, IG. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I think that's better. Yeah.
Um, it's a bit crowded. I will try to.
Yeah. Or they could just be outside of it could be above the person, and above them, above those other people too. Just kind of like put in
Just
different places. Yeah.
spread a bit around.
Sure. Yeah. And to be on the left and the right, yeah, bottom, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay, and then the third part, I would probably say, and by the way, everyone watching this, if you're still watching this, and oh, and thank you, Tomar, for being here, actually. So
Somebody showed
it's
up.
wonderful. Yeah. Let's see here. Let me just go ahead, and I realized my video wasn't there. And Tomar, I'll just mute you for now. Okay, so everyone watching this, if you think that there is something else that should be part of the third thing, I would love to know. You could pause the video right. If you know my work, I would love for you to pause the video right now and comment below. What do you think if I could only be known for three things that help people move from the left, the difficult situation they're in, to the, heavenly situation? What would be the third thing? I would be curious. And I have an idea, but I just, before I bias everyone with my idea, I'd love to put that in. Okay, so my idea, just for the sake of time, I would say probably gentle launches. Yeah, I would probably say that, gentle launches. Because if you do these two things, joyful productivity, authentic content marketing, then all of your launches can be gentle launches and you'll still have more than enough sales. I'm launching something right now, my blog to book course, and my launch is way more gentle than most marketers, meaning I send fewer, I only sent 2 emails total, 2 emails for a major launch. I mean, I used to launch like 12 things a year, 10 to 12 things a year. Now I launch only 5 things a year. And so for most marketers like me who are very active, they send like 18 emails per launch or something like that. I mean, at least 5, if not 12 or 18 launches, or emails. And of course I do social media posts, but way fewer about the launch than most people. And yet I have a great launch. It's exceeding my expectations, in fact. So how does this work? It's like when you have a consistently warm audience, and what part of the gentle launches, by the way, is market research, which is the process of understanding what your warm audience wants to buy. Because the secret to marketing is to sell what the person in front of you wants. That's a secret to marketing. The secret to failing at marketing is to do all kinds of persuasion tactics and all kinds of hard selling to the person or the audience in front of you when they don't want to buy what you're selling. So how do you figure out what they want to buy? Well, you ask them. This is where people fall down, is they're visionaries. They are heart-based people. They are idealists. And so they create something, wonderful idea, wonderful service or product or program in their own journal, in their own closet, in their own, talking amongst them and like another friend or their coach. Oh, wonderful program. I'm going to create this thing. And then they try to hire a marketer to push that program down people's throats, which, yes, puzzle piece, exactly right. It has to fit. It has to fit. And if it's the perfect fit, then it's like, then guess what? All we need to do is whisper to our warm audience, whisper, and they eagerly buy with just 2 emails, like I do, and a few social media posts. And that's how I've made my business so successful over the past, since I've been, when did I start doing gentle launches? I would say 2015. So over the past 7 years, my business has totally changed. I used to do hard launches, hard selling. From 2009 to 2014 was my lost years, my wandering years of being a traditional, mainstream, conventional marketer. learning from doing funnels and hard selling webinars and high, supposedly high converting, but not really high converting webinars. Now my webinars are much more high converting because it's gentle and it's the warm audience and it's the right fit. Anyway, so exactly, it's just a few emails. It's flowy. It's gentle for me too. I'm not working myself to death like most launches are. Most launches, people are like, "Oh my God, I'm exhausted now. I can't imagine doing this again." And oh my God, I have to do this again in 3 months or in 6 months or in a year. Oh, no, it's gentle on me and it's gentle on the audience. And because it's the right fit and because they trust me, okay, because there's the right fit, because they trust me, and because when I say they trust me, I mean two things. They trust my expertise because why do they trust my expertise? Because I've been consistent with my content, authentic content over the months and the years. Okay. They trust my expertise, number one. Number two, they trust my values, that I care about them and I'm not just out to make another dollar. I don't know about you, but I have I look at I look at some businesses and like, I don't know, I trust your expertise, but I don't know if I trust that you actually care about me as a customer or whether you care more about the profits that you make this year. Because if I look at a lot of the colleagues I used to work with, mainstream marketers, I'll tell you 100%, they don't care about you. Not really. What they care about is that you make a decision to buy their stuff. That's what they care about. So they use persuasion tactics just to make sure that you buy. And of course, they want to make you keep buying. So they try to make the product just good enough that you don't complain so much. But it's not the heart is not really there. It's a game to them. How do I make more money this year than last year? It's a game. It's a very mind ego driven game for most successful businesses that I've seen anyway. And I'm just saying, can we bring love back into business? I don't know if love ever was in business. I think probably in the past when we were in villages where it's like, I'm the blacksmith and you need your, you need your tools fixed. I care about you. We're in a village together. I actually literally care about you because I need you. You're the farmer. I'm the blacksmith. We need each other. And so there's some caring, genuine caring there. And then once we become a global village, there's no longer care because it's all commoditized. I don't need you anymore. I can go to anybody else for the services. But if I try to bring love back into business and show people I actually care about you, and I care about you, and for two reasons. One is that I show up consistently with authentic content, and you can tell that I'm not just trying to convert you with every piece of content, but I actually am just doing this out of ministry and out of my own exploration. I care about my own calling and figuring that out, and I figured that out through content and through the reactions I get. And secondly, I care because I've done the market research, and I probably talked to some of you and I poll you. If I didn't get to talk to you one-to-one, right, or in a small group, I poll my audience as a whole about the next product I'm going to launch. What do you think? Which title should it be called? What topics do you care about that I should cover? And so there's a sense of partnership, collaboration with the audience, which demonstrates care. And also, of course, I make videos where I demonstrate my care. I mean, you could see in my face that I care about the person that I'm talking to on the other end of the video, right? I'm not just using ways to persuade you and all that stuff. Anyway, so because of the care, the revenue happens very naturally.
I mean, the revenue is not unimportant.
Revenue is a natural byproduct, I would say, just like the Viktor Frankl quote. Viktor Frankl, the one who wrote Man's Search for Meaning, he said, "Do not pursue success. Let success ensue as a byproduct of your dedication to something greater than yourself." And that quote is such a guiding point for me. And it's true. It's consistent communication, or consistency or something like that is what demonstrates the caring and makes the gentle launches work, which, by the way, my launches are also consistent, meaning I don't just, you know, some people go, I need to make money right now, I better launch something. You know, I'm sorry, but I know some of you watching this feel that way, you know, and sometimes, and this is why we need to, you know, we need to do something to help you become consistent in your productivity, in your content, therefore in your also in your launches, so that it's not like, oh, I gotta make money, I gotta sell something now. Because if you need to make money and therefore you sell, there's no blame. Of course, you are in a mode of desperation and needing to convert people and persuade people because you need to make the rent next month. I get it. Of course, I would be too. But if you become consistent with launches, you plan it out for the next 3 months, 6 months, year. I have my launches planned out. I have my course schedule planned out for 3 years. And I have my launches, all dates are all planned out when I'm going to promote certain things for the next, well, for the next year, but certainly for the next 6 months is quite secure. And so if you plan things out, then you can breathe and relax and go, okay, yes, I need to take the time for my launches. Therefore I can be gentle about it because it's consistent. And anyway, so.
Okay, great.
Beautifully done, man. Beautifully done. I say man to everybody. Beautifully done,
yeah,
Ingrid.
That's fine. let's really quickly. You have already. We have on this side. We have the empathy. You want to, and your mission somehow. You want to bring love back to business, and you found your calling through content creation, and and your skills. Your
interesting.
authority.
Say it again.
Your authority, how, what hard skills can do the table.
Right. Okay. Well, and by the way, Tomar, thank you for chatting. Says, what about conscious business? Yeah, I agree. I think I probably make that assumption, but you're right. I do. I guess by default, it is about conscious business, or heart-based business, or soulful business, or business, purposeful work, true livelihood, rather than business primarily as an engine, as a, you know, cold, hard calculating engine to make money, you know, which is how business is usually seen. So yeah, conscious business with heart, you know. Yeah, so that's great. That's beautiful. And in terms of the hard skills, I guess people look to me to learn how to do Facebook ads effectively and authentically, Facebook FB ads. They come to me for course creation and launches, so course creation. They come to me for, what else they come to me for? You all know my courses. I have 20 of them, but they come to me for content, authentic content, maybe how to create authentic content, or they come to me to make authentic videos. Maybe that's just a simple way of putting it. Authentic videos. And
well, what I usually put here is so and so many years of experience and
oh, okay, yeah, okay.
But
so
I mean, we don't need that. We know and love you. And
since 2009, you know, I could say that I've been full time in my business since 2009. Since then, yeah, and then have, you know, coached thousands by this point.
Because the thing is, if you would say all this, and we would maybe think, yes, sounds nice, and I'm also heart-based, and okay, but I need to make money. I mean, you model a thing, and you're making money, and you show money.
Sure. I could say 6 figures since 2010, 2009. Yes, it's true. 6 figures since 2010. I mean, if people want to look at the money part of it, and not just that, but consistently higher income every year, which is remarkable also. Except I would say there was a dip in 2014 and 2015 when I had the spiritual breakthrough and decided to completely close down my business. Not close down. I dramatically reduced my business, and I deleted most of my email list, because I'm like, I think I built my email list in the conventional mainstream way, and I don't think I have a real audience. So I kind of started over with 10% of my email list in 2015. So there was a dip there. I think that year I still earned $100,000, but it may have been like 80,000 instead of 200,000. But it's like there was a dip, and then ever since then, I started to build myself back up, and ever since then, it's been consistent income growth every year. So I think that is a real testament to the fact that this stuff works.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think we're finished.
Yeah, that's it. We need to go to the next call.
Yeah.
And let me do a segment. If you want to start a recording separately, stop the recording and start a new one about my experience with this process.
Oops, that was the wrong one. Where is it?
Stop recording.